You ever sat there, staring at your bank account, feeling this low, gnawing pit in your stomach? Like, how did I mess this up again? Here's the truth no one told you. You didn't mess up. You were trained to believe that. You weren't born bad with money. You were conditioned. And the worst part? The shame you feel, it's not yours. It's manufactured, planted, cultivated. Because when you blame yourself, you don't blame them. And that's exactly how they keep winning.
Let's be honest. You were never given a playbook. Just expectations. Be responsible. Be smart. Budget. Save. Don't ask questions. But when did anyone teach you how? And why is it that the more you struggle, the quieter you get? That's not coincidence. That's design. Because silence protects power. Today we're going to rip that silence wide open. And once you see the system for what it really is, you won't ever be able to unsee it.
Let's talk about that voice in your head. The one that whispers, you're just bad with money. It's not just cruel, it's a lie. One that was injected into you from the very beginning. You grow up surrounded by consumerism, scarcity, and pressure. And somehow you're supposed to turn 18 and know how to play a game you've never been taught?
The moment you fall behind, the system kicks in with shame. Overdraft fees, credit dings, debt collectors. Not one of them asks, did you ever have a shot at succeeding? It's not about personal failure. It's systemic conditioning. And the longer you internalize that shame, the longer they keep you small. They want you to believe it's just you. Because if everyone realized how rigged this is, that shame would turn to rage. And rage changes everything.
I remember maxing out a card in college on textbooks and groceries. I thought I was just irresponsible. Now I know. I was surviving. They handed me a financial weapon and no safety training, then punished me for using it.
And that punishment keeps you obedient. You stop dreaming. You stop taking risks. You stop believing you can change anything. Until today. Let's get real. This isn't about personal choices. It's about structural design. Banks, lenders, credit bureaus, they don't make money when you're winning. They make money when you're desperate. And desperation? That's no accident.
Exactly. Why is it easier to get approved for a $30,000 car loan than a $3,000 business loan?
Because one makes the money immediately. The other gives you power. And this system was never designed to empower you. It was designed to extract from you. Every app, every term of service, every late fee, it's all engineered. To trap, to profit, to recycle you in a loop of scarcity.
And the worst part? We think it's normal. We don't even question it anymore. We accept $1,000 rent hikes and $15 overdraft fees like they're weather. Like we're just supposed to endure them.
No one tells you that capitalism without guardrails becomes cannibalism. And it's not just eating your wallet. It's eating your future.
Let's zoom in. How do they keep you spending what you don't have?
By manufacturing desire. You're not buying because you want something. You're buying because you were made to feel less without it. Marketing is manipulation at scale. And credit is the leash they use to make sure you pay for that manipulation for years.
I mean, the ads aren't selling a car. They're selling a version of you that looks successful, worthy, respected. It's emotional blackmail, and it works.
And when you swipe that card, you're not spending money. You're borrowing shame. Because that debt doesn't just sit there. It grows. Quietly. Aggressively.
And when the statement hits, you're not mad at the system. You're mad at yourself. That's the genius of it. Make the consumer feel guilty for being human.
We've all been there. And if we don't break that cycle, our kids will live in it too.
Let's bring in the real stories. Because this isn't theory. This is happening every single day.
A nurse in Detroit, 3 jobs, still can't get ahead because of $80,000 in student loans. A teacher in Florida sold a car to pay rent. A single dad in Arizona, living paycheck to paycheck while being charged $35 fees because his balance dipped by $1.
These aren't edge cases. This is the norm for millions. And they still think it's their fault. That's the heartbreak.
It's also the spark. Because once they realize they're not alone, they stop blaming themselves and start demanding more.
Why don't we teach real money skills in school?
Because if people understood how compound interest worked, payday lenders would go out of business. If people knew how to negotiate salaries, Corporations couldn't underpay so easily. Financial literacy is withheld on purpose. Because knowledge isn't just power. It's resistance.
And that resistance is contagious. Imagine a generation that's not afraid of their bank accounts, that knows how to invest, that knows how to say no to bad credit. That's what scares them.
It should scare them, because that generation won't be controlled by shame anymore. First, forgive yourself. You've been navigating a battlefield without a map. Of course, you made missteps. Now it's time to reset. Start small, start honest. Open a high-yield savings account. Use cash when you can to rewire spending habits. Prioritize paying off high-interest debt. Learn what your credit report actually says.
This isn't about fixing everything overnight. It's about taking back control, one move at a time.
Every smart choice you make is a middle finger to the system that tried to keep you ignorant. Make it count.
You've got to stop carrying their shame.
You've got to stop saying, "I'm bad with money." Start saying, "I was never taught, but I'm learning now."
This isn't a TED Talk. This is a revolution, and you're a part of it.
We don't need you to be perfect. We need you to be awake. That's the power shift.
Here's your assignment. It's personal. It might be painful, but it's real. Step 1. Write down your 5 biggest financial mistakes. Step 2. Next to each one, ask, did I really have the tools, knowledge, and freedom to avoid this? Step 3. Count how many times the answer is no.
That's not your failure. That's the system's. And now that you've exposed it, you've got a choice.
Stay in the lie, or step into truth. We know what you'll pick. Everything they told you about money was to control you. Now you see it. Now you fight it. Subscribe. Share this. Be the spark for someone else who still thinks it's their fault. You were never broken. You were set up to fail. But you don't have to stay there. This is financial level, and we're just getting started.